What comes to mind when you think about visualization exercises? Does the simple phrase conjure up images of some woo-woo, fluffy mind game offered by a 2-bit guru? Or are you ready for the real deal from a guy who struggled to see pictures in his mind and almost failed, but after hundreds of hours of struggle, finally found a way? I'm that guy, by the way, and after years of struggle and experimentation, I discovered something profound about visualization. A simple process that suggests everything you thought you knew about seeing pictures in your mind is wrong, especially when it comes to memory techniques, the memory palace, and everything related to mnemonics. So please take it as a given that all of the visualization exercises I'm about to share are to be conducted inside of a memory palace, and that the magnetic modes also apply to how you develop your memory palaces in the first place. There are at least 8 magnetic modes, so hit that thumbs up and get subscribed if you're new here, and let's get started with the KAVE COGS formula for better visualization. Kinesthetic, auditory, visual, emotional, conceptual, olfactory, gustatory, spatial. As you can tell, seeing is just one of the magnetic modes, and you don't have to see your memory palaces either in order for them to be effective. But don't get me wrong, the ability to conjure up mental pictures is a great skill. If you've got it, work it. But realize that some people with aphantasia can't see mental imagery at all. Yet even with imagination deficit disorder, I'm able to use memory techniques and multisensory visualization perfectly well, both in private practice and competition. Sure, I only did half as well as Dave Farrow when I competed with him. He's achieved 2 Guinness World Records, so take it or leave it. But that's not too bad in the grand scheme of things when your mind is as hobbled as mine. And Lynn Kelly is Australia's senior memory champion and says she has full-blown aphantasia.
I have quizzed a lot of people and very few don't seem to see these images. The research says about 2%. I think to go very, very fast in memory competition, doing the logical links, which is what I do, probably wouldn't allow me to go anywhere near as fast as the 14, 12 seconds. What are they down to for a deck of cards?
Right.
I couldn't, because I have words. I couldn't think them fast enough, whereas they're just creating flashy images. And
right.
The documentary that just came out on Netflix, Memory Games, following 5 of the memory champions to competition, is constantly using these flashy images because that's what they're saying they're seeing, whereas I don't see anything like that.
She's also a top-notch writer about the techniques, so clearly there's more to visualization than meets the eye. So here's the big point I need to get across. Even people super skilled with their mind's eye often neglect these other senses. I hear from people every day who say they visualize incredibly well, but they still aren't succeeding with memory techniques. But when they learn about and start using the magnetic modes, everything gets better very quickly. Please don't ignore the role of multisensory visualization when conducting these exercises. Now that we've covered the fundamentals, here are 5 visualization exercises that show you exactly how any beginner can become a visualization master, or any master can improve their practice so that it gets deeper and better and faster and more rewarding. Try this. Take a moment and close your eyes. Imagine that when you open them, a candle has appeared in front of you. Now consider, what size is the candle? Is it a tea candle, long stem candle, 3-wick candle? How heavy is it? How much of the candle has burned away? Has it burned down to the base, or do you see it still newly lit? How far away is the candle from you? Within arm's reach? Across the room? Is the candle reflecting on anything in this mental space? If so, what is that thing? Add in all the magnetic modes for best effect. Hear the burning, smell the fire and the smoke, and gradually you will be able to visualize in great multi-sensory detail a candle and flame of your own mental making. Now, try visualizing an apple. Feel its smooth peel, observe its perfectly ripe sheen, and then imagine yourself taking a bite. How does it taste? Get those earbuds out of your skull and hear its crispness between your teeth and really taste its sweetness or tartness in the mouth of your mind. You can take this apple visualization exercise further. Follow the apple through your body as your entire digestive system interacts with it.
It's loading now.
Don't take this exercise too seriously or get so granular that you gross yourself out. Just play with the idea of being able to follow one bite of an apple through your system. If you want to check out more exercises like these, check out the negative space variation in my free memory improvement kit available to you now at magneticmerrymethod.com/YT. And once you feel like you can move beyond seeing and feeling a simple everyday object, you'll want to be able to toggle between a number of variations. Riddle me this. How abstract are numbers? They are representations of concepts, right? Take the number 3, for example. How is 3 represented exactly? Well, lots of ways. The Chinese character differs from the Roman numeral, which differs from the character 3 that we use in English. 3 is represented based on a mark our English-speaking society agrees it will call 3. You can visualize the 3 your culture uses, or multiple versions used by multiple cultures. You can also visualize 1 to 10 to 20, or even to 1,000. With each number, feel its contours with the hands of your mind. Literally reach out and touch them. Mentally break them in half and hear the snap. For more that you can do with numbers, check out my video on concentration meditation. It teaches you the number skipping exercise, which is also a powerful visualization exercise. How well do you know your geography? I'm talking about the world at large and that deep dive zoom into where you live right now. To start this visualization exercise, imagine a giant spinning blue ball. Next, slow it down. Make it completely still. Zoom in. Travel all the way down until you touch the blue. What is that blue? Is it water or is it the air? The choice is yours, and let yourself spend a few moments really settling into the experience of color in your mind and substance. Next, pick the color of your house. Imagine your hand building up your home on the blue surface. Actually, you might want to spread some imaginary dirt underneath first so that it doesn't fall or sink. And as you build your home through visualization, pay attention to all the multi-sensory details. I'm talking about the feeling of the stair rails in your hands, the smells in the kitchen, and the temperature on a cool morning. Spend 2 to 5 minutes just on the home construction. Next, lay out your street. Try to add as many of the houses and buildings as you can, accurately, holding each one in mind as you lay it out on the blue globe. And when you're ready, zoom out. Allow the buildings you've built to get smaller and smaller and smaller until they are just a speck. And anytime you like, revisit the neighborhood you were building on the globe. I suggest you keep returning to it until you've mentally constructed as much of your city as you're familiar with now. And for the future, every time you're out, pay close attention to how things look in the world. Try to remember as much as you can, and then the next time you practice this visualization, add more details to the imaginary version. In the visualization meditation video on this channel, I gave you a simplified version of the clock exercise that I borrowed from a book. I found it quite simple, and its challenge burned out quickly, so I made it more complex for myself. Here's how the advanced version works. Next time you're laying in bed, imagine a giant clock on the wall directly in front of you. Give it a color. Name what it is made from, and hear the sounds of it ticking away. Really go through its dimensions, its height, width, the diameter of the clock face. Think deeply into it, imagining all the gears and their intricacies as they wind through time. Then, give the clock face numbers. Make the even numbers Arabic numerals and the odd numbers Roman numerals. Or, if you know a language like Chinese, use its hanzi for the numbers, mixing it up with other kinds of numerals. You can also rotate between Arabic and Roman numerals, synchronizing the change as the imaginary tick-tock takes place. This is great training for your visual, auditory, and spatial sense. And as we've discussed today, visualization is not that easy if you're only using visualization techniques to see pictures in your mind. The solution begins when people take things to the next level and use a multi-sensory visualization approach. Before we get to one last tip, thanks as ever for the view, thanks to our channel members for your support, and remember to hit that thumbs up and get subscribed if you're new here. And let me know in the discussion, what would you like to see covered on this channel in the near or distant future? Complete these visualization exercises regularly and consistently. don't expect results from just one session. In fact, plan to work with them for at least 90 days, which is a small time to spend in the grand scheme of things, especially when you want to have fantastic visualization skills for the rest of your life. Also, mix and match these exercises. For example, after you've watched the other videos I've suggested for you today, try number skipping with candles to represent a multiplicity of ones, or light apples on fire as if they were candles and skip them both forward and in reverse. Really, the sky's the limit here. The more you play with these visualization exercises, the more benefits you will receive, and the more ideas for more visual brain exercises will emerge. Above all, keep challenging yourself and your memory for growth. It's when we stop getting brain exercise that we go downhill. These visualization techniques will help you keep moving forward. And if you want even more challenges, I suggest you join me up on my roof for 4 incredible brain exercises that will really give your brain a boost. Watch it next, and until we speak again, keep yourself magnetic.